Alright, busia for me church obi bia na me samo obi bia akwaba emfamba aye katibia aye kakase boso na adusu sisi abeso so baji brani etima bowia ene nsem ntentem ya eye Richard Japka na ene omutimi court ko asetena wo na asem no so na busia for ene ne ho achiri ye pan te se enya asem pito enye eye ne lawyers ne be ma te se eye gofre ye bo odam timi de eye information na te se Richard Japka send no evidence at the better abontina. Audio na eba abontina ni chese doctor da na chese omo chicha ade ahye jibren nkuti nsem nchimi ko ba eba beto so aye kati aye the update and the trending news on connect to me videos na for any day county man so subscribe to my channel obe like na do adwin che so a good comment section kama.
From the military.
We are doing a cross-examination, and that forms part of our cross-examination. And what you just heard is what you just said.
How difficult have you found Richard Japka to be in the witness box?
You were in court. You witnessed it. Make your own judgment.
At a point, DPP appeared to be frustrated with some of the answers Richard Japka was giving. You were in your seat. How did you feel?
She wasn't frustrated. She did a yeoman's job.
Now, from the answers from the accused person, are you surprised with them, especially so when they're asking one question and taking about 4 pages to answer? Are you surprised?
I think you pass your own judgment.
So the AG has come back to court today. I saw him passing questions to the DPP, mentioning questions to the DPP to ask Japka. Has he defied the directive by this trial judge, and now he's taking part of the ongoing trial, you would say?
Let me make this correction. There was no directive from the trial judge.
The advice.
Exactly. Advice, you watch out the space, whether the AG will stand to conduct the case or will observe the proceedings.
But technically,
the right, just like you, to be in court, observe proceedings. As to whether he will conduct the case, leave the space unless you have.
But technically, he is asking questions because he was passing questions to the DPP, dictating questions for her to ask Japka. That is technically taking part of.
He wasn't dictating questions to the DPP to ask. But if you are even a litigant in court, and you are subject matter of a certain litigation, don't you reserve the right to be in court? Even if AG was the one being prosecuted, he has the right to be in court. And so today he came to court to observe proceedings, as you came to do.
But it's beyond observing by the accused person, seeking to at least have the AG in what he wants to describe as a cross-examination of a sort, seeking to...
I think he was properly answered by the presiding judge, and I'll make no further comment. You were in court and you heard the comments.
From what you said to the Attorney General, do you feel the same that he would love the opportunity to cross-examine Richard Japka himself?
You wait until we get to the end of the proceedings. If you come, you know. If you don't come, you also know.
Is it the case of the state that Richard Japka, by the documents that he put before the court, did not give the entirety of the conversations that went on between him and the Attorney General, and what his lawyers have been pushing is really not what happened?
You were in court. Japka tendered some documents in respect of the chat. We also are going to tender the full complement of the chat. And that's what we are seeking to do.
And you think the full complement is going to help your case?
Wait until we get there.
Because it appears he's now bringing in new stories that were not part of what they've tendered into evidence.
Don't be disturbed by that. We will handle everything in court.
Thank you very much.
And that was a reaction from the Attorney General's department, and that was the Deputy Attorney General, Afia reaction after today's hearing, where the AG had the opportunity to cross-examine Richard Japka. The cross-examination will continue on Thursday. And I'm guessing that Latif Idris was in court for us today. So, Latif, so on Thursday, that will end everything, because I know that the first accused, Dr. Atufosim, he's already closed his case.
Yep.
The case, the state also closed its case.
Yeah.
It was left with Japka to be cross-examined. So after the cross-examination by the Attorney General on Thursday, would that bring everything to an end for the judge to now decide, the merits and then pass judgments in the day that she will set?
No. So what is going to happen after Richard Japka? There's yet another person that will be cross-examined, and this is
Big C, the Big C people.
Okay.
You know, they are the main
company that was to
signed a
supply
contract with the government of Ghana to supply the ambulances.
the ambulance.
Richard Japka is
Their local
the
rep.
agent. So they will also be cross-examined. And so Richard Japka's cross-examination wouldn't end
The matter.
trial. Yeah.
Okay. Now, today, let's start from the onset. Before the court was called into section, we understand that the Deputy Attorney General had concerns with what he claims to be somebody who had recorded proceedings of last Thursday and was circulating the audio recording on WhatsApp. Tell us about it.
Yeah, correct. So this was when, after Richard Japka was made to mount the witness box to be cross-examined by the Director of Public Prosecution. And then Afia rose and put before the trial judge that this is what he has found, that there's been a circulation of portion of Thursday's proceedings in court, which is being circulated on some audio, which is being circulated on some WhatsApp platforms. And so he wanted the trial judge to take cognizance of that and then take the necessary action, if you like. Then she found it very problematic because she said it's prohibited for anyone to record the proceedings in court. In fact, the journalists who sit through proceedings have been told that it is not allowed, it is prohibited to record proceedings in court. So she found it to be problematic. Quickly, she called the leadership, and I'm talking about the lead counsel for Keselato Forcing, lead counsel for Richard Japka, and the prosecution into a conclave. And it took a little longer than we expected. We thought it was going to be like some 10 minutes meeting, but then it went on for like 20 minutes. Now, when they came back, the trial judge issued a warning and asked that national security should take up the issue, investigate and get to the bottom of whoever recorded that proceedings. And once investigations is done, we know the outcome of it. It means if you are
obviously you'll be in contempt of court.
Exactly. You are going to be dealt with. She said if it continues again, she will be forced to take additional stringent measures, which would be that the rest of the proceedings or the trial will be held in camera.
Meaning only the lawyers and their clients will be in court.
Will be in court to, if it continues. But now she has asked national security to take up any.
But did the Deputy Attorney General provide any name as to the one behind the circulation of this audio recording of the court proceedings on Thursday?
For those of us who sat in open court, who didn't join the conclave, we were unable to tell whether or not at that meeting in chambers, the Deputy AG mentioned names or not. We do not know. All we know is that they went in there to verify the claim that had been made by the Deputy Attorney General, after which the judge issued this directive for national security to investigate and also issue the warning that if it continues, she will be left with no option than to hold the rest of the proceedings in camera.
And then before the cross-examination started, the Attorney General himself, Godfred Yeboah-Dame, walked into the court.
Yeah. So
but he didn't do the cross-examination.
Yes, he didn't do the cross-examination. For the last two sittings, if I'm right, he didn't show up in court. And so there was this rumor that, okay, he has now taken the advice of this trial judge. Today, he showed up, took his seat, but then he didn't do the cross-examination, even though he was conferring with the Deputy Attorney General, whilst the Director of Public Prosecution was on her feet questioning Richard Japka. He didn't directly cross-examine, the third accused.
So now, let's get to the meat of the matter. The first issues that came up, one of them had to do with whether Japka was sacked from the Ghana Armed Forces and whether he failed his promotion exams.
Correct. So this question, you see the question he just asked.
And a yes or no answer that was required.
Yes or no answer. It took 4 pages. And I think it went even beyond 4 pages. Answer by Richard Japka. So that was the question. Mr. Japka